What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel, where it is the morning after new comic book day, and we're going to talk about some new comic books. But first, we are going to talk about She-Hulk Episode 9, the season finale. Let me know if you got a chance to watch it down in the comments below if you did or didn't, and let me know your thoughts on the episode. I can imagine that my man Mike Stanchill Porter says that it's a 10, maybe even an 11. I also did see on Twitter earlier my man Wayne in the building, who we've got here, Reefer Man Reviews, saying he didn't like it so much. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I see we've got Mike Stanchill Porter here in the building, as well as Reefer Man Reviews and StarWarsMCU-OG. Yes, so getting into She-Hulk Episode 9, this is the season finale. I will tell you, like, what do you expect out of these shows? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Me, I kind of think that, like, this show has been doing exactly what this show has been doing. I think here's the thing, is I think Marvel Studios has managed to nail down, I would say, the format and the feel of these shows that they are trying to do. The particular, I wouldn't even necessarily say always a genre per se, but still doing what they do. Because you can take a look at She-Hulk, where, you know, like, it's supposed to be like a lawyer comedy thing, lawyery so much. I don't know about that. The whole legal comedy thing, like, there's some legal jargon in here, you know, so a little bit of legalese sprinkled into a bunch of MCU kind of stuff. You know, you think about Ms. Marvel that came before this. I mean, I really think that one nailed it down. And I think even Moon Knight kind of, like, I'm not sure what it was supposed to be, but I feel like it did what it was doing. It kind of built some mystery and kind of introduced us to this character, and I feel like they're starting to hit these shows in a little bit better stride and presenting them for what they are. And I think this show has kind of done that. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a good thing. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. But I think that this show, I mean, I feel like this is when I need that. This is when I need that clip of Denny Green. They are who we thought they were, right? Because, like, this show is exactly what I thought it was. Probably from episode 1, maybe episode 2, when they kind of started getting more of the legal kind of stuff, I guess. Like, this is just kind of, you know, like, they've got some, it's, you know, a woman point of view, and it's got some feminism sprinkled in there with, you know, some MCU stuff going on here. Now, the thing is, I know a lot of people feel a certain way about these shows and everything, and I don't really count these shows as strikes against the MCU or anything, because, like, to me, they're TV shows. I'm not really into TV shows. I don't really like them. Like, and plus a TV show. What's a TV show do? You know, what's a TV show? Is there a particular season? Is there a TV show that I don't know about that people like the conclusion of? Like, they're watching the episodes like, oh yes, I like this show. Remember Friends, how it goes, and then it gets to the end and you're just like, you know, or Seinfeld. You know, these shows that have like that thing. You know, there's never a good ending. I mean, let's not even mention Game of Thrones, right? I don't even watch that shit, but I heard all about it. Y'all nerds, let me know all about it, okay? So, the thing is I think this show, like, there's no satisfying ending, and certainly these Marvel shows still kind of prove exactly that so far. I mean, we know some of them got a season 2 coming, but a lot of these shows haven't had the kind of finale that have really popped off. I mean, I think if there was any kind of finale that was like a good one, it's probably the finale of the show that I like the least. Aside from What If, and that is Loki. Like, it actually had a pretty decent finale, right? And this one right here, it was very, like, as the episode was going, like, everything that was going on, kind of like it did kind of make me do that, the side thing, like, okay, can we, like, we get it. And overall, I mean, the show is, it is what it is. I mean, I think it's kind of where exactly I've thought it was the whole time. It's probably there about a 6. If I had to give it stars or rank it out of 10 or whatever, it's about a 6. It's about a 6 out of 10. I mean, you could, if you could debate as a 7 for me. I mean, I might be I could probably talk myself up there if I really sat down and thought about a lot of things and the things that are going on in this show, because there are definitely some things going on in this show, and particularly in this last episode that they kind of show and reveal. It's like, once again makes me think about a lot of things that we've got going on here. With the MCU, kind of how it pertains to Phase 4 and the previous phases, and altogether, again, the show, I don't know. This finale, is it weird enough that this finale, this episode 9, was kind of the episode that I honestly feel the least bit about, like, feeling good about. Like, the rest of them seem like, compared to this finale, like, the rest of them seem actually okay. Which is really weird, because this whole season has been a whole bunch of slop and silly things going on, and it really honestly makes sense when you sit down and you kind of look at it like, okay, yeah, but I don't know where they went in this episode was something else. First, we obviously see that Jen kind of got, she was locked up. All her friends are walking in. They're trying to find out, see what's going on. She has to take this plea deal, and she ends up, taking this deal, and she wants to get out and sue, these guys, Intelligentsia. They're trying to find out who they are. But it's weird. Like, she got this inhibitor. They give her this inhibitor, so she can't turn on to, she can't turn into She-Hulk anymore, right? They got this inhibitor on her. Well, the thing is, like, the inhibitor, like, I'm not sure how it works, and you see that she gets it placed on her by the DODC. Now you're probably asking yourself, where'd they get this inhibitor? Like, Bruce even said, I can't make you one. Where'd you get this? Well, chances are, the DODC probably got some of this stuff from Tony Stark's files and things like that. I guarantee you, it's somewhere in there, and that's where they got it, and they took, and that's kind of what they do. That's kind of like what Tony Stark does. It's what kind of all these people do is they appropriate each other's technology and they use it. And isn't that really kind of the theme about a lot of things going on here? Is everybody's just taking somebody else's technology, somebody else's innovation, and they use it. They appropriate it and make it their own, and they do something with it. They're all essentially like Sony with like the Walkman, the Discman, and all that. Like, they just kind of take somebody else's product and they improve upon it. They don't really have I mean, I guess that was it. They do have like the one original idea, and then everything else is just kind of they're just stealing somebody else's shit and improving upon it, right? So so there's that, and probably not in movies necessarily. Let's not get started on Spider-Man. The point being is that's kind of it. That's kind of the thread of a lot of everything that we've got going on in Phase 4 in the first place. But then, regardless of all that, she got the inhibitor, so she gets out, and she's there trying to figure out who the Intelligentsia are, and they figure out a way to get in, right? They get Pug, yeah, like somebody's gonna believe Pug is anyway. Regardless, they sneak Pug into this Intelligentsia meeting. He got what's her name, the friend of Jennifer Walker, because it's not her friend from the book. Like, if you get in the original comic books, it's not like anyway. So they get her, they get Pug in there. He goes in deep cover and finds out basically that the Intelligentsia is run by Todd, who is, something. It was funny too, because I remember, what was it, episode 3? Was it episode 3 when I told you when we got introduced to Todd? And I'm like, or maybe that was episode 2. I can't remember. It's so hazy now. I feel traumatized. I'm kidding, but regardless, we got introduced to Todd. I'm like, okay, this guy John Bass, he's in here. Like, he's like in here. He's gonna be somebody. You don't get John Bass in like a show like this, in this kind of like, you just don't do that and have him saying the things he was saying in that it might have been the second episode, maybe it was the third, when she went on the dates, and like you don't get him in here with those kind of lines and saying that stuff without him being somebody. And it turns out, yeah, who was he? It was Todd. It was a guy working for Intelligentsia. He was behind Intelligentsia, and he got her blood and he injected himself with it. He became Hulk. Well, for one, somebody got the blood sample, obviously, right? We didn't rewind that, because at the after they find all this out, She-Hulk, she even goes to find Emil Blonsky to get his help, and it turns out that he's doing some Tony Robbins type shit, man. He's still making his money. It doesn't matter. He's turning into, and Jen's freaked out about it, like, yeah, come on, like, whatever. The point being is he comes out, he's a motivational speaker and stuff. And I'm not like, was he behind that? That was the thing with that whole plot before it got rewound and everything. Was he part of the Intelligentsia helping them out and doing what they were doing with Todd? Was he part of that? I don't know. I mean, a couple of questions there when it comes to a few of those things. But regardless, a whole lot of things going on here, confusion. Then we see everything kind of stops, and this is like when it goes into the whole menu, like on Disney Plus, and she hops out. Like, to me, I was watching, like, I haven't read a whole lot of She-Hulk books. I've definitely seen, everybody talks about how she breaks the fourth wall in the comics. I haven't read that. I was reading the original run. It's not here, but I've got the omnibus of the original She-Hulk run, and I don't expect it to be exactly that. But I haven't read any of that. But what I have read? I've definitely read some Deadpool, and I've definitely read some Gwenpool, and everything that was going on here was definitely very Gwenpool. Where she hops out, she goes to the writer's room, we see everybody, we even see Zeb Wells. Or was it, he's like, anyway, point being, she gets out, she kind of chastises them, she goes to find Kevin. Yes! She's going to find Mr. Feige himself. And all those board meetings I talk about that he has, he must be slapping a robotic anyway, point being is she goes in there, and Kevin he's like basically a robot, and he's there. Like, it's very much like, what was that on WALL-E? Very, very much like that. His name is Kevin. And she gets on there, and they're talking about the end and how save this for the movie and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and all this silliness, right? All this silliness. And then they go back into the show. Emil Blonsky, fesses up, and he decides to go pay. He decides he did the crime. He's going to go do the time, which Wong breaks him out later. And, everything's all good. Everything's all good. They get, Jen ends up suing Intelligentsia. She becomes the I can't remember how the guy that said it, the newscaster guy at the end, the diva of whatever, because she's defending people in court and out of court. People better look out, because Jen Walters is on the case. And then, we got this, like, everything wraps up in a nice little bow, but Hulk comes back. He actually comes back, and he has his son. He has his son. He has his son, Scar. So, regardless of all of these things, I know some people may or may not like the whole Kevin thing and the whole jumping out of the screen thing, and I will be honest with you, I think it's absolute silliness that I've seen the likes of in the comics for sure. And I know, isn't that what everybody's defense? It's in the comics. But again, I've never seen it with She-Hulk. I've definitely seen this shit with like definitely like Deadpool and Gwenpool, shit like that. So the thing is here is when it comes to all of this is obviously there's still the blood thing that happened. They still have all this technology. They have the blood out there. The Intelligentsia, maybe, are they partially working for the leader? Wasn't Emil Blonsky working for them? Like, there was obviously still a plot going on here with all of that. There's obviously that going on. But also, you think about what they're doing with a lot of this stuff is you see Kevin and you see some of the silliness there with this robotic mind and everything. And you think, oh, it's crazy, it's silly. Kevin is just robotic and it's doing all this stuff and it's doing all this thinking and it's like this algorithm that's sitting there. Okay, now, like, while it's all silly and everything going on there, what are they presenting to you? They are presenting to you things like that you're going to find ridiculous at some point. MODOK. Right? We know he's coming up in like the Ant-Man 3, right? Quantumania. Supposedly MODOK's in there. Is this not something that's kind of on that same level? You're also thinking once again maybe about robots who are out there. The AI. You're talking about things like Ultron. Things like that. Like these intelligences. Things about like even Arnim Zola. That's one of the things through all of this silliness that they are still presenting and setting up is shit like that. Stuff where you have robots, you know, these algorithms out there controlling things, manipulating things, getting people to do things and all of that kind of shit. Okay? Like I get like I said, there's still some interesting things going on throughout all of this, things being presented that you may or may not be aware of when it comes down to it. Regardless of how all of this is skinned under a terrible show. Essentially a terrible show. But not only that, it's also got the same thing that ties in with a lot of this Phase 4 stuff being presented as it pertains to Phase 1, 2, and 3. Because a lot of the things, what are we talking about here? And it's something I've talked about here so much. I've done videos on where it comes down to technology, innovating technology, finding new ways. Where Tony Stark built the armor. He built the Iron Man suit to be what? Not to be a weapon. It's defense, right? It's a shield. But it has one hell of an offense too, right? Technology. And how does he power it with this technology that he actually eventually got to the point where he recreated this element that the great Dr. Arnim Zola had created back in the day. But what does all of this come down to? It all comes down to the science, the alchemy, the trying to become better, looking for that philosopher's stone, and all of this stuff still comes down to the emerald tablet that was presented in the Eternals movie. Now, what it all has to do with is essentially that. It's all this technology that people have out there that they use to better themselves, to do things with, be it good or bad. It's interesting because that's like when you get into the lore, like some of the stuff like they presented in the Eternals with by talking about things like the Emerald Tablet, because the Emerald Tablet is essentially this thing. You've probably heard of this saying, "As above, so below." It's kind of this philosophy that comes out of the Emerald Tablet, and it basically has to do with birth, being born human, essentially of the earth, and essentially kind of maybe not even necessarily dying, but maybe ascending to the heavens, maybe through death, life after death, but ascending to the heavens to become a god, only for the process to start all over again, and man becomes his own god and becomes a god. But all of that, still, this whole philosophy behind all of that comes down to this whole thought of alchemy and everything regarding the Emerald Tablet still comes down to one thing. The Emerald Tablet is, and this philosophy is credited as creating the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone is something that is supposedly what all these scientists and everything, what alchemy is all based off of. The Philosopher's Stone was basically this kind of like liquid or elixir or whatever else, whatever other forms you can make out of it, that essentially could turn base metals into silver or gold. It could grant you health. It could and vitality and possibly even immortality. It kind of heals all ailments. It can give you superhuman strength and speed. I mean, does this not sound like the super soldier serum? It can do all kinds of things. But if you think about it, when it comes down to it, you can see all of these things, all of this technology, all of these things that people are trying to do. Humans ascending to the heavens to become gods themselves. And the interesting thing is considering what have we also been presented with? Immortus, right? Or He Who Remains, or Kang, right? He's coming. I just recently got done reading Avengers Forever and how some of this pertains as well because humans become dangerous and they want to keep them contained to Earth. Interesting. But that's kind of how a lot of this stuff intertwines together, is these technologies, these things that men do to ascend, to become greater than themselves, to become, to cheat life itself, to cheat or death itself, essentially, and become greater, to become gods themselves, to become like an Asgardian, maybe to become even more. And that's kind of what all this is really evolving around. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Anyway, regardless, She-Hulk episode 9, still, guess we'll see where it goes. This was a 6. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. We'll get in here and see what you all are saying. All right. Mike Stanchill Porter says definitely an 11 out of 10. Definitely an 11 out of 10. Okay. A 0.69 out of 10 for me, says Reaper Man. Oh, Justin Simone, thank you so much for being here. The Star Wars Marvel purist. Yeah. You like that? You like that, Justin? Yeah, Jedi Jen. Thank you so much for being here, Jen and Justin. Jedi Mike in the building as well. Yeah, the very meta ending. Definitely. Moon Knight was the best ending, followed by Ms. Marvel. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to remember Moon Knight's ending at this point. Justin says, my biggest question is, why is everyone happy with the MCU delays? I hear people excited about this. I mean, with how everything is going so great with the MCU, why slow down? Well, obviously, Justin, since I know you're here just trolling, I know you're just here being a troll. Why? It's so they can nail down the production and they can get it right. It's so they can get it right and give us the quality that they deserve, because everything is just fine, especially if they delay, because then they can get it just right. But everything's just fine. But if they delay to make it better, then that's just fine, because everything is fine. Beat it, Fly. We're not doing this again. We did that in the last video. Okay, but yeah, exactly, Justin. I hear you, Justin. Yeah, I got you. You know what? Here, maybe I can probably not. I have to adjust a little bit. There we go. That's better. That might be a little bit better for you now. What a 6. I totally understand. Yeah, it's a 6. I think the show overall, it's a 6. Yeah. It's not terrible. It's not great. It just is. Trinity doesn't like mere formula. He wants the community. Oh, formula T. Yeah. Justin says, after the triumph of Shang-Chi, the empowerment of Black Widow, the racial unity of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the lives the Eternals saved, finding out how amazing Sylvie was, and Loki, Hawkeye getting in touch with his feminine side, the best writing ever in Multiverse of Mayhem, Michael Waldron, the Oscar nominee, Kamal's magical jewelry, and Thor's true beta self. Why slow down? Yeah. You know, like for me, what it is, like the only thing, like Thor for me is kind of what done. Like most of this other stuff I have, like I think the Hawkeye show was good. I think it was pretty good. Ms. Marvel, I think like the show was probably the best one they've done. But like you know what it was, like Thor, man, like Thor was really the linchpin in. He wasn't even the straw that fucking broke it. He was all the straw. Damn it. He wasn't the last straw. He was the straw. Speculation Town idea that the show's plot was going nowhere was right. Yeah. Speculation Town idea that the show's plot was going nowhere was right. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's again, these shows are revealing things. They're not really doing things, I guess. Like, I don't know how else to say that. I don't know how else to say like they're showing things, they're not really doing a whole lot necessarily. Yeah. And that's okay. Like I said, there's shows. They're like, yeah, it's yeah. I wouldn't look into it too much. That's Frontline, Agatha, Echo, and Ree Williams. It'll be epic. Who needs Blade? Just cancel it forever. Him and Ghost Rider. Yeah, you know what? Maybe She-Hulk should have went into the writer's room and talked to Kevin and put an end to all of that, right? Wouldn't that be? Wouldn't that almost be funny? Wouldn't that almost even be funnier if they like all of a sudden they announced the cancellation of all those shows and it came down to She-Hulk because like she went in there and told Kevin like fuck that and got away. Like they should have done that. They should have totally done that. They should have totally. I'm there with you. I'm there with you, Justin. I'm there with you on that one. Damn. It just won't go right. Well, there we go. Is that it? I think that might be it. Wake and Bake. I woke up. Big chat, Mike. Yes, I'm sure you did. Star Wars Santa in the building said good morning. Don't want spoilers, but want to leave a like and a comment. Have a great day, everyone. All right, Star Wars Santa, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, no problem. I don't know. I went into some spoilers for sure. I'll catch a replay. All right, man. Have a good one, Star Wars Santa. Thank you for stopping in. Speaking of Scar, I'm scarred for life having watched this. Yeah, Jedi Jen says it was funny. Oh, which part was funny? See, I was flapping my gums too long. Yeah, when she broke into the Disney Plus menu screen, I shut it off, and it took quite a bit away for me to turn it back on. Who did Hulk smash? Who is Scar's mom in the MCU? Right? Yeah. Good question. You sound very sexist for misogyny. Yeah, sexist because yeah, exactly. Yeah. The writer's room. Yeah, it was a bunch of silliness. Intelligentsia was right. It's okay, I don't identify as white male in my 40s, so I'm allowed to dislike. Yeah, there you go. Andre Oro, thank you so much for being here. The Emerald Tablet, yeah. I haven't watched She-Hulk past episode 1, or Kamala Khan didn't get past Andor episode 3. Apathy kicked into high gear. Glad you guys love this shit. Yeah, I haven't watched Andor at all. I almost went to watch it the other day. But you know what I did? I shut off the TV and I read a comic book and fell asleep. It was really starting to surprise me. I liked it from the beginning, but it is surprisingly a lot better than I was expecting, says Reefer Man Reviews. All right. I thought She-Hulk was okay show. In fact, just remove the finale and have episodes 8 as the finale. I'd be okay. Some sort of more important ones could be saved for later. Yeah. Rushed. Yes. Weed Richards 420 says it belongs in the trash. Yeah. Like I said, it was just one of the shows. Like I said, I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, and I'm just not gonna sit here and say it's great. Like, it was alright. Like, I watched the show. I can see some of the things what they're doing and some of that stuff, and I could be wrong about some of those things, like with the silliness of the Kevin thing and how they're kind of presenting things there like that, where you make it and find it believable. because that is kind of some of the silliness when you get into some of the comic book stuff anyway, is some of that kind of silliness and zaniness. Like, you got seriously, you got a fucking computer here that's running this shit? Like, there's a computer with a fucking vendetta against me? Yeah, bitch, there is. This algorithm is out to get your ass. Of course, people say that about YouTube altogether. Anyway, the algorithm's out to get them. It's burying them in the algorithm. Yeah. So I mean, like, it makes, like, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Yeah. But again, I mean, even like coming back down to like the intelligentsia stuff, the whole blood plot line and all that stuff. Again, this comes down to, you know, like searching for the super soldiers, trying to do that whole kind of thing. Which, in case you guys didn't watch my theory on the Thunderbolts, Baron Zemo, some of that kind of stuff, man, definitely check it out. Check it out. For House of the Dragon. All right, yeah, I haven't seen it. 5 minutes to each episode, 8 showing the conclusion to the storyline, even the way it did in the Family Minus a lot of crap. Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Weed, great name. You like that? Yeah, Weed Richards 420 and Reefer Man Reviews. They go hand in hand. She-Hulk should have been delayed indefinitely. I put Michael Waldron in there just for you, Trinity. I know you're his biggest fan. Yes. Gotta love that Waldron. That would be funny, Trinity. You'd be a better writer than that. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like she goes in there, it's like, you just stop all this stuff. It's canceled. She-Hulk said so. And we may have picked up. I'm gonna wait and watch the end unboring episodes. Yeah. And you know, like, I think for me, I might even start. I think I'm like with Disney Plus. I'm gonna start doing like what Chillmonger does. Like, I'm just gonna like, because my 3-year thing, the thing I bought like 3 years ago is about to be up. I'm thinking at that point, I may just do a, like, when, like, just have it. Not have it most of the time, and then just do it like when a show comes up. Like if I want to watch it, which most of the Marvel shows I will, just go ahead and get it then, renew, and then cancel. There's no real reason to keep it going for me. I don't know. Maybe my kids can convince me, but yeah. Yeah. Right now I'm on House of Dragon. Can Marvel and Star Wars hire those writers in there? And CG people for the love of God. Yeah. I'm so Hollywood. I get it. Come to my TED Talk soon. Blackhawks are too big for their division. Yeah. Blackhawks are too big for their division. Absolutely. Agreed, Immortal Biggie Shaq. Aaron from Strange Marvel Theories with a $5 super chat says, my theory is King Hulk is Emil Blonsky, who is Maestro Hulk, since Bruce is off planet. Oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch the finale. Aaron. You gotta watch the finale. But anyway, you know what? We didn't even get a chance to talk about no comic books. I'm gonna have to just shoot a separate review for all of these comic books that I have here to talk about. But we only got into She-Hulk, but I've got to get ready to get out of here. Gonna go cook some breakfast for the kids. But I want to thank you all so much for being here today. I do promise we will get these comic books reviewed. We will get the. I'm obviously just gonna have to change the name of the thing. It's gonna not have to be the morning afternoon comic book day. It's gonna have to be. Well, I mean, I guess it could still be. It is the morning afternoon comic book day. But thank you all so much for being here today. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell and all that good stuff. Because we're gonna have some videos getting ready to drop here. I got some things in the mail, obviously, in case you can't tell, that we're gonna talk about. Got an unboxing kind of video review thing coming up for the Rippaverse ISOM issue number 1. You all have a very good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.